Hello everyone, Rosey once again, back on my road to perception, still walking that road. I will never give up, even though the situation looked kind of dim, no pun intended. But if you ever want to know what I see, try putting on blinders and walking around for 1 hour. I am like this 24 hours a day. And that way to give you an opportunity to see what I go through from day to day. People still don't understand how important it is to try to aid vision impaired people when they see one. Assist them. There are different degrees of blindness, and totally blind is being the worst one. You have some people with 1 degree of vision, you have some people with 10 degrees of vision, and you have some people that the vision is always obscured because there's many things that crosses their eyes, or different frames or what appear in their eyes, and they see different things when they're walking. So don't just ignore them, and just do not let a door close on the people when you see them trying to get into a building. Say, I have it for you, or the door is open, come on in. And we appreciate that. Now, getting back to my disgusting subject, and that is COVID, the Delta variant. If there is a will, there is a way. And many of us have the will and we know what we need to do. But I do suspect that some of us don't think it concerns us until it happened to us. You have to take charge before that happens. And what I mean by that, just because it's not happening to me, it doesn't matter. But soon as it happened in our family, then it's a deep concern. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Why haven't the mayors done this? Why haven't the governor did this? What's wrong with our city councilmen? What's wrong with the Congress? What's wrong with the Senate? But if we take charge for what we can do at a lower level, and then correspond with our government officials, I think we can get something done as a group and not as an individual. As an individual, they don't listen to us. They say they do, but I think that's one of the biggest lies I ever heard. There are things that actually happen every day, and it seems like there is no concern. They talk about it all the time, but what's happening? The numbers are going back up. When you look at the number of deaths in one state, and you start tallying up those, it makes you wonder if someone trying to control the population. What is the problem here? We have a vaccine, and there is something that can be done with this stuff to make it, if not go away, but reduce to a minimum. And we're not doing that. We go from one extreme to the other. If we have to shut the country down, shut the country down. If you have to close the state back down, close the state back down. If you have to close the schools, if you have to close the city buildings and just let a skeleton crew work, some of us understand and some of us don't. They don't want to close the schools back down. I don't get it. But when you have X amount of kids in school getting sick, and some of them is not going to go back to school because they are going to leave this earth. And because it's not your child, you're okay with it. But when it becomes your child, you're not okay. Do you get my meaning now? This is serious business, and I'm trying to get it out there and let people know how critical this thing is and what we need to do in correcting this virus that we have going around. True, it's just like the flu. When you sit down and think about it, there are so many strands of flu, and it keeps getting stronger all the time. By the time you think it have it beat, or you have it nipped in the bud, there's a different strand out there. This is what's happening with this COVID. Do you realize that? Once you get it, then you got a problem with getting pneumonia. There's a possibility that your lungs will never be the same again. I don't care if you're 20 years old. You see, this is what you have to look at. We all are put here for a reason. There is a purpose to why we're here. Once we live out that purpose, you should be able to say, I've done the best that I can do. And whatever that purpose is, you should know what that purpose is. It takes you a little time to try to figure it out. But if you put your head to it and you put your heart in it, you will figure it out. After you get so old and you expire, the young people has to take control where you left off. But if there are none that could fulfill any shoes there is, what would this world be like? Think about it. Even some of the sci-fi movies show you what this earth could be like. We don't get afraid until something seriously happens. If there's a fire, then we start crying. As long as the fire is not attacking our home, we're okay. Things don't have to be like this. We can stop it. We can get out our mask. We don't have to social distance anymore. We may have to take a booster shot, but it could be like the flu. But the only way we're going to make that change is to do what's right now. My life haven't stopped. I am still intending on going back to the Biloxi Blind Rehab Center to continue my quest, to continue my mobility skills in trying to live a fulfilled life here on this earth. I am a very independent person. I cook, I clean, I wash, and I also walk around by myself. How I am able to do that? Because I have had mobility instructions at the Blind Rehab Center. And I continue to go because I continue to broaden my horizon. I want to tell you that there is more technology that is coming out. There is better solutions to our problems, our vision problems. And one thing that I do know is that I haven't lost my faith in God. Because I haven't had a miracle at this time does not mean that I'm not going to get a miracle. I keep that in mind. But until I get that miracle, I am going to continue to live my life wholesome and plentiful. That means that everything that I can learn, I will learn. I keep my mind active because if I stop, I will not retain what I have learned, and I will start dwindling away from here, and you will slow down. That's what happens when your mind is not active. You start losing your thoughts. You don't concentrate. You don't think wisely. And you have to keep your mind active. Remember that. Okay, I think I've said enough on this particular one. It may be short, but I know it is sweet. This is Rosey. I am still on my road to perception, and perception is what I will have. Now that I've said that, if you keep your heart and your mind right, you'll get there. There is no doubt. This is Rosey saying skedaddle, and I'll see you later.